Hi everyone, in this video we are going to be looking at ESRT or ESRT pages 4 and 5, specifically looking at the latitude and longitude on those two maps. We're going to start on page 5 looking at the tectonic plates map. Let's start by identifying the equator. Remember, the equator is the main line of latitude, which can be located at 0 degrees. So I'm going to highlight 0 degrees latitude on the scale here on the left side, and then I will highlight 0 degrees on the right side. I'm going to draw a line connecting these 2 points to show the equator. So that line highlighted in yellow there is my equator. Now remember, if I go up and I move north of the equator, up above the equator, those lines of latitude have a direction north. So I start at 0, I would go 10 degrees north, 20 degrees north, 30 degrees north. Anything above the equator is north, and anything below the equator is south. So if I start at the equator and start moving down, it would be 10 degrees south, 20 degrees south, 30 degrees south, and so on. What gets tricky on this map is the longitude. Okay, so notice that the 0 degree line of longitude, the prime meridian, is not in the center of the map. Okay, so this map is tricky when it comes to identifying longitude. First, let's start by finding the 0 degree line of longitude, the prime meridian. Look along the top for the longitude values. Notice the 0 is all the way near the edge of the map on the right side. Here I just highlighted it in orange, and I'll highlight the 0 on the bottom as well. So my prime meridian, the 0 degree line of longitude, is all the way near the edge of the map. I am just going to draw this line to connect the 2 zeros, so I have my prime meridian on my map located. So what's tricky on this map is identifying the compass directions east and west, okay, because the 0 degree line or the prime meridian is not in the center. In order to identify east and west, I'm going to start at the prime meridian, so start at 0, and I'm still going to move west of the prime meridian. I'm going to label every line on this map, every line of longitude that's labeled here, we're going to add a compass direction. So I'm starting at 0 degrees, and I'm going to start moving west. So I'm going to start with 20 degrees, and I will label this W for west. Notice I'm up here on the top of the map, in the top right-hand corner. 20 degrees west, 40 degrees west, 60 degrees west, 80 degrees west, 100 degrees west, 120 degrees west, 140 degrees west, 160 degrees west, and then I hit 180, so this could be 180 degrees west. And then realize the numbers start going down again, then it starts going back to 160. That's because the 180 is the highest value for longitude. So this 180 degree line is the highest value west that I could go. That's the international date line. I'm going to draw in this international date line, that way we can reference that and know that that's where west ends and where our values for east will begin. So I'm highlighting 180 in blue. I'm going to draw a line. Okay, so there's my international date line. Now that I'm at the international date line, my values for west are over, and anything beyond that 180 mark is now going to be east. So this is going to be 160 east, 140 east, 120 east, 100 east, 80 degrees east, 60 degrees east, 40 degrees east, and 20 degrees east. Okay, so this map is very tricky because you have east and then west in terms of your longitude values if you were just reading left to right across the page. Notice that in this top left corner here, I only got up to 20 degrees east. Okay, I'm going to move all the way back over here now because there are still a few east values here to the east or to the right of my prime meridian. So over here, this value would also be east, 0 to 20 degrees east on this little sliver of the map that's to the right of the prime meridian. So if I were to make a fake point, let's go ahead and say right here on the Eurasian plate, this location would have a longitude value of 60 degrees north and a latitude value of 60 degrees north and a longitude value of 80 degrees east. If we look at page 4 very quickly, notice the latitude and longitude is very similar. Your prime meridian is all the way near the edge of the map, so you'll have a very similar scenario here. What I want to point out on this map is some important lines of latitude that are labeled here on the map. So notice on the right-hand side of this map, we have a few important lines of latitude labeled. One is the Arctic Circle, and that dotted line all the way across the map signifies the Arctic Circle at 66.5 degrees north. Then we have the Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degrees north, and this dotted line signifies the Tropic of Cancer. We have our equator at 0 degrees. Then we have the Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south, and that goes all the way across. And then lastly, I have the Antarctic Circle at 66.5 degrees south, and that also goes all the way across.